with Coach Siobhan Olivero.
Have you ever walked into a room and seen that really confident person? You know that person I'm talking about, no fear, smiling. Have you ever wished that you were that person, but you aren't? Have you noticed that you have unshakable confidence in some areas of your life, but in other areas you just have none? Well, that's what I've noticed about myself as well, right? I can walk into a courtroom and command a courtroom. I can command a stage when I perform. But put me in the middle of a networking event, and I lose it. I curl into myself. I have no confidence there. So what I have learned through the years of personal development, getting coaches, going through mentoring, I have learned that there are ways to develop your self-confidence. And what I'm going to do today is I'm going to share with you 4 different ways that you can increase your self-confidence and have that unshakable confidence in every area of your life. But before I do that, let me tell you a little bit about me. You see, as a kid, I was really shy, really introverted, if we call it for what it is. And I was a people pleaser. And what I learned through the years is that that was really suppressing my confidence in myself. It created a lot of self-doubt. It made me think that I just wasn't good enough in certain things. Sure, there were things that I was good at. I excelled in school. I excelled in many other areas. I was smart. But there were other areas that I just didn't excel in, and it really inhibited my self-confidence. I got married. He was very controlling, wouldn't let me do the things that I wanted to do, suppressed my dreams, even though I was supporting his, to the tune of working 3 jobs, raising our son, doing all of those things. And that inhibited my self-confidence. But I had that one moment during my marriage where I just said, enough is enough. And that was that at the time my 4-year-old son walked into the room and saw me sitting on the couch, crying my eyes out. And my 4-year-old sat in my lap and said, Mom, don't cry, everything's gonna be okay. And that was the moment that flipped it all around for me. Has anybody ever had that moment where you just knew that's where you had to flip? So I got out of that marriage. I divorced him. I went to law school. I did the things that I wanted to do with my life, and I saw my confidence start to increase. I became an attorney. I started to win trials. I knew I was confident. I win unwinnable trials. It's what I do. I teach class, and I'm really good at it. I teach others how to do what I do, and I'm confident in that. I'm good at it. But then something else happened. I started my own firm. And man, the floods of that little girl came flooding back in. All those self-doubt, all those things that I just had trouble with came back. Because when you own your own firm, things don't just come crawling to you. You have to go out networking. You have to bring in business. You have employees you have to deal with. You have all of those things that start to increase your self-doubt again. But you know what? I had that moment again where I said, enough is enough. Right? My 4-year-old was back in my lap, although he's now 18, but I saw that 4-year-old again go, Mom, it's all gonna be okay. And I flipped it again. And I said, you know what? I can change this. So I'm gonna share with you the 4 ways that I've learned how to increase your self-confidence and have it in all areas of your life. Are you ready? So what I've learned is that nobody is born with limitless self-confidence. It's something that we're always working on. It's a struggle that we all have, and you have to continually work on it and build it up because you're gonna always have struggles. Life is always gonna happen. Business is always gonna happen to you. So it's something you need to always work on. We have to deal with our inner critic, our self-doubt, all of those things that bombard us. So what are one of the 4 things that you can do? Number 1, do one thing that scares you every single day. As Harvecker says, if you're insecure, guess what? So is everybody else. Don't let that competition, don't overestimate them, and don't underestimate yourself. You are better than you think. So go out and do something that scares you. Make that phone call you've been putting off. Create that video you've been waiting to do. Go skydiving. Do something every day and watch your confidence soar. Because as you start to overcome those little fears that you have, you will see an increase in your confidence in every area of your life. Get out of your comfort zone and face your fears. The second thing, question that inner critic. Question that little voice inside of your head that says, I'm not good enough. I can't do this. I'm too scared. Question those limiting beliefs. You know what you can do? Start to reframe it. When you say, I'm a failure, reframe that question and say, what evidence is there that I'm a failure? Make 2 lists for yourself. Make one of your strengths and one of the things that you've achieved. And read that list for yourself every single day. And watch how your confidence increases. Find opportunities to congratulate yourself. It sounds funny, but there's a lot of science between actually physically doing things, like taking and physically patting yourself on the back. Go ahead. Pat yourself on the back. Try it. Can't help but put a smile on your face, right? And you feel better. There's chemical reactions that go on that actually will increase your confidence. So congratulate yourself and tell your inner critic to shut up, because you are better than that. Number 3, help someone else. There's no better way to feel better about yourself, to increase your confidence, than helping someone else. Helping other people naturally puts a smile on our face. Serving others is a great way to serve yourself as well and to help and increase your confidence. So mentor somebody, coach somebody, volunteer at a program. Do whatever you need to do, but get out there and help other people. And for the 4th one, it's going to require you guys to get up. So stand up. And I want you to take your most confident pose. Statistically, the most confident one is that Wonder Woman or Superman pose. So I want you to stand there and in your most confident position. Because what they have found is that psychologists from Harvard have actually found, Amy Cuddy's the one who did this, that just 2 minutes of power posing increases your confidence. There is a chemical reaction that goes on in your brain that actually physically increases your view of yourself and your confidence. And it just takes 90 seconds to 2 minutes per day. So before you're walking into that next interview, before you're going on stage to speak, before you're doing anything else where you say, I just can't do this, take 2 minutes and stand in your most confident power pose that you have, and you will be the badass that you know you can be. As Amy Cuddy says, don't fake it until you make it. You fake it until you become it. So what I would like to do, there's the power poses for you, is you have been handed a sheet of paper, right? So I have created, has this been helpful for everybody? Yeah. Okay, so I've actually created 10 tips. So in addition to these 4, you get 6 more to how to have that unshakable confidence every single day. And you've been given this sheet of paper. So if you will fill this out, and whether you want any of these other items or not, if you will at least fill out your contact information and you will come see me or one of my people at the back table, I will give you today my 10 tips on how to have unshakable confidence, just in exchange for you handing me this piece of paper back. And if you do want any of these other items, fill that out and we'll make sure to get those to you as well, all right? So remember, people are not born with limitless self-confidence. You have to work on it. Yet something you have to always do, right? So do something that scares you every day. Tell your inner critic to shut up. Help someone else. Stand in that power pose and go be the badass you are and conquer the world. Thank you.